I'm Teresa Gonzalez. I'm the mother of two, Amy and Aaron, and Amy was born with Down syndrome. The doctor told me, you have choices. You can put her in an institution, or you can take her home and love her and see what happens. I remember just going home just talking to her and telling her how much I love her and it was going to be okay. And my life began with Amy. I did have a second baby, a beautiful little baby boy. They did everything together. They were very close.
Amy's my older sister. We had fun. Just normal things that siblings would do or play. But if I got scared, I can go into Amy's room. She was my protector. She was the one who watched out for me growing up.
For the last 40 years, the ARC has been part of my life. I contacted the ARC. I asked if there was any way that I could volunteer. There was plenty to do because it was the 70s. It was like a battle going on. People didn't want persons coming out of the institution. They didn't want them going to their school. They didn't want them working and living in the community. There was a lot of education that had to take place. And this is what the ARC at the time was fighting for. I wanted to join the fight. Being part of the ARC meant that I had an organization behind me. They had my back. And then I started thinking about what life was going to be for her after high school. She applied for a job at Safeway. They weren't sure that they wanted a person with developmental disabilities. It was something new to them. So they had an employee meeting, and together as employees, they decided that they would take it on. She continued to work for Safeway for 17 years. Amy came to me one day and she said, "Am I older than my brother?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "So why does he live in an apartment? And I'm older than him and I don't live in an apartment." And my heart just dropped. I thought, oh, the dreaded question. But I thought about all of the years what I've been fighting for. The main goal was to have Amy educated, out in the community, working, and living on her own. That's what we all want for our other children, so I had to make it happen. Amy had this gesture that I knew that she was like so excited, and she would always go. And she just would laugh and be so happy. And I knew that this is something that she really wanted. In Amy's new home, she thrived. Amy was an amazing young lady. She was so passionate about her art. If she wasn't at work, she was drawing and coloring and painting. She probably had 1,000 markers at one time. She was very talented. She just wanted to be involved in everything, and I never held her back. She became so independent that if I would call and say, "Amy, do you want to go have lunch or go shopping?" she'd say, "Well, I'll check my schedule." Another time I said, "Amy, do you want to come home and spend the weekend?" And she said, "No, Mom, I want to go to my home." And that's when I thought, she has really found her place. You know, it's her home. That's what you want for your child, to have that independence.
Ten years ago, Mom and I sat down and started talking about the eventuality of what's going to happen if If something happens to Mom, what's my role going to be? And I knew I was always going to be there to support her and protect her.
I always worried about what was going to happen to Amy after I was gone. That's something that we as parents all worry about. Who's going to take care of them? What is their life going to be like? I knew that the Ark would always be there if Aaron should ever need any assistance.
So while we're doing all this planning, we're looking at two sides of a coin. We're looking at, okay, let's plan for Amy's future, but at the same time we are also looking at what we're going to do if Amy passed away sooner than later. It's always something that's in the back of your head. It's always a fear for everybody, I believe. In the spring of 2013, Amy unexpectedly passed away. It is probably the hardest and most devastating thing to happen to our family and to me personally. It's something that we had talked about and thought about and planned for, but it's something that you just are never ready for. She passed away 18 days before her 41st birthday. We did step away for about a month from the Ark, as both my mom and myself are board members. I think we both came to the realization that it's important to still be involved in the Ark because we have such an important story to tell. The work of the Ark won't be done until people with intellectual and developmental disabilities are treated with the same rights, respect, and opportunities that everybody else is.
The Ark's still fighting for the rights of people with developmental disabilities, to give them the opportunities to live their lives that they choose to live. And it's never ending. I'm an advocate. I will always be an advocate. There will always be a need to be an advocate, a champion for persons with developmental disabilities.